Your life.
Good evening, Sarah and friends. And nothing like Gary doing it. Where is
Gary should do that. He does it faster.
Good evening, Sarah and friends. That's from Gary.
Let's do a contest.
There that goes here. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to the June meeting. We're doing things a little differently tonight. Last month we had a fox hunt, which was a ton of fun. And if you haven't opened your minutes yet, you should from Mark, because it's pretty much a storyboard of what happened during that. We have been doing the tech presentation first and then business meeting later. We're going to flip that tonight because the presentation is basically Josh talking about field day. And we want to give him all the time he can have at the end for that, right, Josh?
Yay, Josh.
God bless him.
All right. So we're going to do the go through the officers first, do our thing. Then we'll go through the committee reports, which should go fairly quickly. Since Jason's not here, we won't have a tech report tonight, and that's fine. Everything seems to be working, and I have a few passwords now, so I can fix some things. That's a bonus. Then Josh is going to take over for field day stuff after a short break, so this should move along fairly quickly. All right, let's start with some announcements tonight. Why is that? There we go. Okay. Sign up for field day operating slots on www.ky.org. Field day is 9 sleeps to field day. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah, I miscounted on my slides.
All right.
9 weeks?
9 sleeps.
Okay. I thought you said 9 weeks. We did that first.
Okay, thanks, Mark. It's looking pretty slim, and Josh would sleep easier several of those nights if more people would sign up for some hours. So please do. Field day t-shirts are here. 8 PMI, fellows back there, doling them out. Check the sizes when you get them, because I'm the one who assigned them, and yeah, just check your sizes, make sure they're what you want. Leave that to that. Next meeting's July 16th. We'll be back here. And we have at least one visitor I know. Any new members or visitors? KFAGHA, you haven't been here before, right? You want to stand up and say hi?
This is my first time here.
Another speaker.
I don't know about this thing.
It was.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm in the wrong place. Your speaker, okay. No, I just, I got my tech license and then general on Memorial Day, actually. And I'm just looking around for a club, and I think I may have found one. This is, I participate on the nets, especially in the evening, and the personalities are amazing.
Thank you. You must not be tuning in on Wednesday night then. Nice to meet you, sir. Thanks for being here. Please stand up. I'm bringing you the microphone. Yes. Yeah, we still can't see you. Here we go. I'll stand behind you to get everybody's attention.
Hi, I'm just practicing talking into a mic because it's my first time. But I just got my license. I'm probably the oldest person who ever got their first license, but this is fun.
Probably not.
And I know my call sign, it's KF8 GTD.
Tango Delta. It's got kind of a ring to it. Thanks for being here. And her son designed the field day t-shirts there, so can't wait to see why. Why is he hold on. ACA YFO. There we go. Thank you, young man. Very good. You look good in that shirt, by the way. Anybody else here I don't recognize? Let me look around. Anybody? Anybody? You've been here before, right, Mike? Yeah. All right. Very good. All right, we're going to roll right through these things. Mark did some wonderful minutes. If you haven't opened your email, open them up. He he's got a basic photo journal of our fox hunt from last month's meeting. And Mark, you had something to say, didn't you?
Not really, but.
Just want to, I couldn't have done the minutes without our Johnny on the spot guy, Scott. KDN RWA. So thank him.
Now, I was going to take those minutes and incorporate that into tonight's program, but Josh covered it in his part with a bunch of the same photos, so I'm not gonna duplicate that. But please, open your emails and check them out. It's pretty fun, and Mark put some nice color commentary in there in a couple places as well. And remember, his minutes should be called seconds. And here you go. He just got back from vacation. And I'm told that AI had to shrink these fish to get them onto, to crop them into this picture. So, yes, absolutely. Very good, very good. And dude, that's the happiest I've ever seen you.
I like fishing.
I see that. You like fishing. All right.
So do I. Sushi.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, those are gollywoggers. They're actually mingo snappers or vermilion.
Vermilion. Good eats.
They're good.
You can feed all of us with one of those.
When you limit out and you catch all your red snapper, you have to go to a different species. Which are those? Those are the smaller ones.
Huh.
Mark, where'd you get
Wow.
that?
Orange Beach, Alabama is the red snapper capital of the world.
There you go. Thanks, Mark. All right, we got some numbers here from KE8QWE. Mike, got a couple of months to go over here, so have at it. Here you go. Just don't stand on the speaker.
Okay. There isn't anything really new as far as what we had going on. We have the usual stuff. We have to have our Amazon web services. We have to have our Starlink things like that. A lot of what we had to get supplies for the handy finder build. We had a few more winter field day things that came on in. So basically we started with $5,379.94. The time we took out what we had to pay and add in what came in, we ended up with $5,725.85, which we actually made a little bit. Now we take $1,100 of that, and that is set aside in case our repeater, well, yeah, it happens. Once in a while you have to spend money on those things. So that leaves us a balance of $4,625.85. Now, we also have, as far as cash on hand, which I always keep a small amount, we have 30 there. And our PayPal balance is $81.40. So overall good, okay? And of course, that doesn't take into account my monthly fee, okay?
Very good, Mike. Thank you very much. Nick, question.
Yes.
Did you guys sell something to the Canton Radio Club?
No, we did a Winter Field Day was a combined operation between the two clubs, and apparently there was some money exchanging hand for something. I don't know what it
Mike's
is.
fee.
It's food.
Okay.
It's food.
There you go.
They paid us for food because Nick and I purchased all the food and cooked for us.
It was good.
There it is.
It was
I knew there was a reason.
It was really good. Nick's cooking for some field day, so.
Actually, Nick's plural are cooking on the field. Nicks are cooking. Yes. I'm going to be a sous chef.
Is he gonna let you over here, the grill?
I hope not. All right. So, thank you, Mike. Moving right along. I sent out an email to you guys about Constitution Okay, so, the Constitution and bylaw changes made a few years ago are working very well. The committees we set up are working very well. I really don't want to change any of that. So, I'm not. But, we have an issue, and that is the repeater. We've had the repeater on Marty Baker's tower. Since I've been a member of the club, we haven't paid anything for that. I know before that, we paid some fees for, ISP for internet service, and, those days are gone. Okay? Handshake deal isn't gonna cut it for a club this size and be on the brink of not having a repeater from time to time, or something of that nature. So, what I'm proposing you guys to vote on tonight is a 36-month lease, which ensures we have our space on his tower, and our antennas are up there, and everything's protected, for $100 a month. So, if you look at our finances, we have about 150 members, $30 a piece, we get about $4,500 a year in that. This $1,200 a month is gonna be 27% of that we haven't had to pay before. So that's gonna be a little bit of a hit. Here's the crux of it. We really don't have anywhere else to go with a repeater. I had this wonderful 8 or 10 minute story lined up to tell you guys how important the repeater is to me, and my sob story, and my entire thing, and I'm not gonna tell it to you because pretty much we have a binary choice here. We can either be a club with a repeater and pay, or with a repeater and pay this, or we can be a club on a node and not. That's kind of what it boils down to. Any questions?
How big's the node?
Huh? It's not that big. It's about that big, as big as they all are. All right, so what do we get out of it? That's the question, okay?
A repeater.
First of all, what's that?
A repeater.
Yes, but we know where we have it for the next 36 months, for one thing, okay? Other thing is, if for some reason, Marty no longer has his towers, let's say he sells them, let's say he's retiring, moving to Florida, or he gets hit by a bus, or I was gonna say scary movie hit by a bus, if you've ever seen that. Yes, he could walk out in the parking lot tonight if he were here and be hit by a bus, and we would have no place to go. So I think it's important that we have things on paper in case towers change hand, that we don't get lost in that exchange some other way. Other thing is, we get so if there is going to be a termination of our service from that side, they need to give us a 30-day warning. And then we have 90 days after that to get our equipment out and the antennas down. And that's sort of a bonus because that's not an easy thing to do. And having 4 months to do that would be invaluable. Okay? Well, we all prepare for the worst to happen. This is preparing for that. That's the way I can put it. What's that?
How many feet up in the air is the antenna?
I don't know, how high up is the antenna? Anybody know? I think 200 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 200, 250, it's, you know, 2/3 of the way up the tower. What's up, Phil?
I just wanna say that having that repeater and the use of that for no charge for a long period of time is a blessing to this club, and it helped us grow. No matter where we go, we are going to have to pay, or we gotta own the property to put that tower up. And I'm in favor of getting a lease with that. I think that repeater is a great repeater, and it's a great tower and a great location for this club. That is my opinion. People may disagree, but owning a tower is a business, and it's very lucrative business, and for the amount that they are charging, I think is very fair.
There's 2 cents. Dave?
I agree with Phil,
Okay?
and I appreciate your concern in getting us a pad in case of something happening. Because that's what's really gonna be important in the long run, is if and when this deal falls apart, that we have time to continue making the club viable.
Okay.
And so I just want to commend you as president for making that part of what we're talking about.
Thank you. Fred?
May I ask why this all came about?
No.
Okay, Gary.
Nick? Yes, Gary, go.
Okay, first, long time ago, when we first went to Marty's Tower, we
Strangers in the I'm sorry, I had to.
no, when we first went on the tower, we paid to go on the tower. And that went on for, I quite honestly, I don't remember, but then Marty got a couple commercial accounts, and then he came to me and he said, look, these commercial accounts are gonna cover a bunch of stuff, and so until further notice, you guys, I'm not gonna charge you anything. So he retired, Marty retired, and he's concentrating on his tower business, etc. And some things have changed, and he just said, look, you guys, you're welcome to stay here, and I'd like you to be here, and he's a club member, by the way. And anyway, $100 a month is cheap, and I think it was Phil who said that we should thank Marty for all the freebie. And it was a long ride, and we kind of needed it then. We needed the freebie at the time, and he let us go. So
How could you afford that with 10 or 12 members, right?
Anyway, that's the scoop. That's the backstory, Fred. If that helps, it's the time is now, so to speak. There's really nothing happened. There was nothing cataclysmic other than the fact that he retired and he's concentrating on the business, and that's pretty much it. Does that help? I hope. And I do appreciate the notoriety, though. Really.
Thank you, Gary.
He's not laughing.
Oh, no. So there's the backstory. This is all before my time. So, yes, Scott.
Just real quick, so if this is something that we do vote on tonight, is it already agreed upon on Marty's side and then it just goes into effect, or is there still negotiation to do after that?
No negotiation.
No,
Okay.
the lease is laying right there, okay? And it's set to start July 1st. And, I think this should be an easy decision.
So then it's done and over as soon as we vote. Cool.
Dave?
Easy decision.
Okay, but there you go. All right, so
Question.
let's not beleaguer this
No,
anymore.
real quick question though.
Yes.
If we pay more money, can we get a better place on the tower?
No. I mean, unless you want to crawl up there and move it and cover whatever else is there, I think we should be happy where we are.
All right.
It
Right,
could
we
be
got a
a
pretty good
steeple deck.
footprint.
I was just seeing how flexible the contract might be. That's
It's
all.
not.
Okay.
Not like that. Yeah.
I make a motion that we enter into a contract with Marty Baker for a 36-month lease at a rate of $100.
I second it.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. All who are not in favor? Thank you all very much. You just made my life a lot easier. All right? Yes.
$1?
Well, how's it, yeah, how's that a no-brainer? No. Believe you me, if we're gonna raise fees, it's not gonna be $1. Well, raising it enough to cover that, 150 people, that's gonna be $10.
$8.
So, all right, I don't want to further this any longer. So, we've got this lease done. Thank you all very much. On to committee reports. Member support, Ron. Where is he? There he is. All right, I'm speaking for Ron tonight because I was there for all of these things this weekend. We went out and did some fun. This guy, WAJR, he's not a member, but he contacted Gary. Gary sent Ron and I the emails. I'm writing an email back to the guy. I told Ron to confer with him, and Ron already met with him for a couple of hours that afternoon. So we went out over the weekend, and on Saturday, he needed his Titan DX taken down because, as you can see, it's kind of leaning the wrong way. All right, that's me up on a ladder. Don't tell Audrey. But that was a rough one, man. That thing's 25 feet long. You had to pull it up and keep it in that orientation to straighten it out. He's on top of a roof. I'm pushing off with a ladder. We got through it. It was fun. Here we are. So that's how we started our morning on Saturday. John's a happy camper. He's going to fix that thing up, and maybe we'll get another member out of it when we go out to put it back up. If he wants it back up, maybe. So it went very well. We got it done. Mark was there taking photos and helping us out, and Ron was on the roof, and I was acting like I was doing things. Then we went to Gary's, AHCS, for a couple hours in the afternoon, which was fabulous. Gary did all the walking on the roof, which makes me very happy, and took care of his stuff. We put up a loop for him. We had to put up his loop, which fell down, and an end fed halfway, right? That was what went over the house. We got those up there, and Gary's very happy on the edge. Gary's hanging over the edge. That's me, vaping, doing what I do best. And there we go. There's a well-deserved and earned nap from Ron. Gary and Joyce were good enough to provide us with a bunch of food and a couple of frosty beverages, and Ron took the opportunity to nod off for a few minutes there. That's all right. Thank you, Ron. All right, Doug, you're up next, buddy. Social Committee, K8CHG. Tell us what's going on. And right in okay, next slide.
So tonight for the raffle, we're gonna do the regular 50, we're gonna do the 50-50, and then we're also gonna do an AR manual. And for the field day, we're gonna have dinner at 6, and then breakfast is gonna be at 2, it's gonna be the next morning. And Doug's gonna provide all the food. We're gonna have plenty of cold beverages to keep people hydrated. And Nick's bringing his barbecue, so there's gonna be a lot of meat to eat. And the reason there's gonna be so much meat is because we've never found a cave painting of a salad. We've searched extensively and all the research and just showed up things like this. So just wanted to make sure everyone knew that. But I think that's it. That's all I have.
All right, good deal. Very good, thank you. And yeah, Nick's bringing his smoker. We have a couple of pork butts. We're gonna make pulled pork, and we're gonna get some kind of chicken for a second kind of meal. And there may be a brisket to sample, or may not. We'll find out. Thank you, Doug.
We're also on the 50-50, $210.
Wow. All right. So 50-50 is going to split up to 105, and Scott Yonley is with us tonight. Hi, Scott. Everybody say hi, Scott. Hi, Scott. And Scott was brave enough to bring us an ARRL handbook for a second drawing tonight. So we'll do 2 drawings, and that's fabulous. Thank you, Scott. Learning BE Committee. Doug, come on up. Let us know how it went this weekend, and I know there's 1 or 2 other things going on. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, 2 weeks ago we had our VE session at the Rittman Fire Station. We had 8 individuals come in to be licensed. It was a mixture of upgrades and new licenses. All 8 of them passed their test, and that's really no surprise. I wanted to draw attention to that fact that, you know, for as long as I've been involved with this, I'm not a VE, but I'm the guy at the door that kind of takes their money and checks them in and that type of thing. But the success rate of the people that come into these sessions is extraordinarily high. You know, they're always a little nervous, and, you know, they kind of offer up the excuse that, oh, I may not make it, but they almost always do. And that's a credit to many of the online techniques of studying, as well as the help that many of you give to them to prepare them for those tests. So if you know people that are contemplating being tested, don't tell them it's just a shoe-in and show up and you'll pass. I mean, that's not the case, but I want to draw attention to the fact that people do put a lot of effort in to prepare for these sessions. And we had a good turnout of VEs, and Stefan's recently made some tweaks to the website pertaining to the VE testing that makes that even better. So a lot of good information on the Sierra Club website for those that are contemplating their initial testing or the upgrades. So that's really all I have. We've got a session, of course, coming up in August, the first Saturday of August, at the same location there, correct?
August 1st, right?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. Thank you. Very good, very good. There you go. How's that for a business meeting, folks? Cool. All right, let's take 5. Get back here, 7:35. 7:35. Then Josh is going to take over. What's that?
Are you gonna do the 50-50 between the breakdown in case people are leaving or whatever?
No.
No?
Oh.
Wait, very end.
Yes.
You have to stay to the end to get the
So,
money.
there you go. Everybody take 5. Guys, if we get done early, you'll have time to sit around and talk. So, got a couple extra minutes out of me. Before I hand this over to Josh, Scott Yonley would like to talk to y'all for a second. So Scott, come on up. Scott Yonley. If you don't know Scott,
You don't know me.
Introduce
Good
yourself.
habits. As a lot of you have already read on Facebook and a number of other places, the election time is rolling around for the Great Lakes Division directorship. 3 years ago, I came before this club and I asked for its endorsement and its support, and I'm back again another 3 years for its support and its endorsement. So I'm not sure how the club wants to handle the endorsement aspect of it, but I would greatly appreciate when that time comes, which will be late October, actually, when you actually get your ballots, if you would consider me as for the directorship again. I work hard for you guys up in Connecticut. As you well know, I make a number of trips there, and I do make the rounds for all the clubs that I can get to. Trust me, in Ohio alone, we have 146 clubs, and Michigan comes in second with almost 100 clubs, and Kentucky comes in with about 70. So there's a lot of clubs here, and we try to get to as many of them as we can, and I try to get to as many Hamfests as we can. In fact, Sunday I will be up in Monroe, Michigan, to the Hamfest up there. So I do appreciate all your support, all your help. Any questions that you folks may have, it's simple to contact me. It's n8sy@n8sy.com. So I've been there and I've had a lot of questions and so on. I will take just a couple of minutes of time if I can. One of the biggest questions that I've been getting here lately, and it's really kind of concerning because this concerns your license. A number of folks have told me and have called me and that and said, I can't manipulate the FCC database. I just can't get in there and I can't get stuff around where I need it to be so I can renew my license. How do I do that? Well, let me ask this question. How many of you are ARRL members? Okay, good. That's great. In fact, that's really remarkable. If you're an ARRL member, it's a free service. Turn it over to them. As I'm sure the VE team here will tell you, if you turn your 605 over to them and you're an ARRL member, it's free. They will take care of it. Now, you still have the $35 fee to pay. That we can't get out of, not yet anyway. But it's just a free service. Now, I'm going to tell you, for those few who did not raise their hand, yes, there are many VE teams around that will renew your license. One of them will actually charge you $80 to do it. ARRL will actually charge you $60. $25 for ARRL, turn it into the VE team, and of course your $35 fee to the FCC again, you can't get around that one. But we also, and I'm going to just put this out there because it's going to come out in board minutes here when we have our board meeting in a few weeks. We're going to change. We're working on trying to change that. We're working on, for a little bit less than what one of the VE groups does it for, which I said was $80. We're going to provide that. You get your license renewed, your FCC fee, and a year ARRL subscription. So for that same price, so you get years worth of membership from ARRL for all the same price. So we're going to try to top them. So these are just one of the things that we're working on that you'll probably hear more about right after the board meeting comes out. And unfortunately, I won't be able to be here next meeting because I will be at the board meeting. So anyway, I'm not sure how you want to handle the endorsement, if that's just something that the club votes on or it takes the executive committee or whatever. But I will leave that up to you to decide on how you guys want to do that. And but by the way, I am also a club member here, so So I just wanted to let you know, and I belong to a number of different clubs, believe it or not. I have probably about 25 clubs that I belong to, so. But that's it. I would appreciate your vote when it comes up, like I said, in late October, and I would appreciate the club's support.
I think you got it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sally, and thank you for the ARO handbook. And if you'd like our vote in the end of October, we'll talk some more later.
Start bringing radios.
All right, so Josh is going to do operations committee stuff. He's got a couple of months of stuff to catch us up with, and he's gonna roll right into field day. Now, I've been field day chairman for the past 3 years. Yeah, I think so, 22, 23, 23, 24, 25. And if any of you have been here for any of my field day updates, they're generally 2 minutes of me saying, the hall's been rented, thanks, I'll see you field day. So I'm looking forward to what Josh has for us here tonight, because he's explaining a lot of stuff. So, Josh, W8HRF, K8SLP, take it away, Josh.
Thanks, Nick. All right. Hi, everybody. Hey, Josh. All right. We'll do a quick operations committee update, like Nick was saying. The April photo went swimmingly. We'll see some pictures from that in just a moment. That was a great, well, I guess technically Winterfield Day kicked us off for this year, but that was kind of the nice thing. So that was neat. It was cold again. Keep on choosing those cold weekends. But the May club meeting turned into a fox hunt, which was really good. We'll see some pictures from that. I was not there, so we're going to be discovering what happened together. Field day is coming up. I put T-minus 8 days. It's 9 days. I can't count. And then, so we'll have a bunch of slides on that. And then Lighthouse is on the air is one of the next events coming up in August. And Dave has inspired us to do that. So we appreciate that Dave inspired us to do that. That is going to be an awesome event. We actually, let's see, it was Dave, myself, Harry, and Benny. Am I missing anybody? I think that was everybody. We went up to Fairport Harbor, and we looked at the 2 lighthouses that are up there. We actually got to go up in the museum lighthouse, which was really cool. It's got a great view, great spot for antennas, really cool. They've actually got a ship's mast there as well, so that should make it nice and easy to put antennas up. No fuss, no muss. So they're looking to see, they said we should be able to do that. And then right across the way, you can see just across the lake, on the end of a break wall, there is a second lighthouse. And Dave's been talking with the private owner of that lighthouse to see if we can do a group over there. So we can have one group at that lighthouse and a second group at the museum lighthouse, which would be really, really neat. So the president of the museum is super excited about that. She's excited about the publicity potential, and I think even going to try to get it on like the Fairport list of events that they have for the city. So that will be really cool. We'll try to play up the America 250 angle of it, and maybe get a little part of the America 250 logo on the special QSL card on our Whiskey 8 Lima special event. So more to come on that. Did I cover everything? Harry, you think? Dave, anything else to add? Or David? Anyways, so that's Lighthouse is on the air. Stay tuned for more information. If you're interested in operating during that event, see me afterwards or shoot me an email. 1 week after that is the Ohio QSO party. And so there's been some interest in doing a little bit of contesting and treating this as kind of an intro to contesting event. So that was kind of spearheaded, I believe that was Jason's idea. And so there will be more details coming through about that, but if you're interested in that, see me as well. Nick is throwing together a KPLR reprise tour. Any news on that, Nick?
No.
All right. I'll give you a minute to get it.
Like I said, I'm trying to narrow down a date. September 13th is when we're going to have the picnic, and there's other stuff going on. I want to try to not double us up on a weekend and things, so I'm still watching out for that. But I'd like it to be later on in the year because the drive out there is wonderful when the leaves are falling.
That makes sense.
So, but there's contesting season, so it's a very small window, and yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay. There's a nice big gap here between June and August, so maybe July. But the drive out there would be nice in the fall colors. So thank you, Nick for working on that. Fall fox hunts, we'll have more information, but that'll be coming in October. And the winter field day, we're already talking about winter field day because
You are.
as we've learned, I'm talking about winter field day, but we've learned that it is hard to get locations. So you want to get a start on it early. So April POTA, a couple pictures. We had a number of people stop by. Brandon, K-A-A-R-E, Zach, K-F-A-E-L-A. Let's see, Alan's in there. Ron's in there somewhere, a whole bunch of folks. Adam's over there activating, had a couple visitors as well. So, Nick, so it was a great time. It was a little chilly, but we had a really good time. And actually, we did do the double activation. Adam and I stayed until the bitter end after 8 o'clock and got 10 more contacts. It was rough, man. It was cold. We're both shivering, but we made it. So one of us, 2 of us were able to get up to the 10 contacts we needed. So that was awesome. So thank you to everybody who came out and participated in that. So that was the April POTA. May fox hunt. Yeah, I really don't know all that happened. So this was supposed to be a smaller fox hunt. Try to get people interested in fox hunting. Started here at the Eagles, and Jason, I believe, hit the fox somewhere nearby. Had lots of different antennas that people brought out. Zach brought his Yagi. And we had a nice tape measure Yagi over there. Dave, I don't know what that is. What is that antenna over there?
It's plumbing under the kitchen sink.
It was? That's where it came from. All right. So, anyways, it looked like we had a really good turnout. Mark, I was going to ask you about this apparatus. There's a lot of wires going on here. What's that one? Where's Mark? There.
It is a, what do you call it, a TDA antenna. It's like the principle of your handy finder.
Okay.
This one gives me lights that tells which direction it's coming from.
Okay. Instead of sound.
But it didn't work in this instance. I found some shortcomings with the radio I was using.
Okay.
The signal, the box was so weak, you had to open up your squelch all the way. Well, that interfered with my device. Opening up your squelch.
Okay.
It was difficult for me.
Okay. It looks like you had a backup though. Is that a backup or is that the same? Is this a different antenna than this one? Is this a backup?
I gave up on my tape measure because I couldn't hear it in the beginning.
Okay.
It probably would have worked if I got closer.
Okay. Interesting. Well, interesting.
Radio and
Yaesu?
I think it was about phone.
We're moving on. All right, some pictures of the hunt going on. We got Mike over there, Mark over there. Looks like it was awesome. Boy, there's a wide range of vehicles too. Lots of trucks going around, driving around looking for this.
The Beast.
The Beast should have a Kraken SDR hooked up to it. You'd be able to just triangulate and narrow right in on that. All the bands, that's awesome. All the different crossovers. There you go. Nick was even, I guess, getting in on the action. Did you do the paint finder note?
I did it last year.
Oh, so you have one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought mine in case somebody wanted to use it. We were trying to get somebody's work in. I was helping program radios. Don't tell anyone I know how to program Balfungs.
Appliance operator.
Yeah, I'm an appliance operator.
This picture, I don't know why, like this pose, it just reminds me so much of when he was a tent stake at Winter Field Day a couple years ago. It's something about it. It's just, there's like a rhyme there. And then these pictures are all over. You're always going somewhere. Why are you going?
I was going to the bathroom.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
For a long time.
I thought it was like the end of a Star Wars movie or something. It was just epic, the way that you always walking away. El President. All right. And then, of course, I don't know, the KD SLG pose. I don't know. Anyways.
Holding up the car.
Yes. There you go. Anyways, it looks like it was a great time. Let's see. Does anybody have any stories or anything? Like I said, I wasn't there. Does anybody want to fill me in with any more details?
Well, Jason's on the phone over there.
Yeah.
Asking Mark, are you still in the area?
Yes.
Who found the fox?
It's a Mark.
It was
Where are you at, Mark?
Everybody got a trophy.
That's like during my
You'll see.
first fox hunt. Jason sending me texts, or no, somebody was sending me texts. Where are you at? All right. Well, there it is. Whoop! I pressed the wrong button. There we go. There it is. He threw it up there with his arborist throw line. It looks like one of those micro trophy. Does this glow in the dark? Lucy wanted me to ask. It does not? Does it really? Oh, cool.
Mine did.
All right. Cool.
I'm gonna have to check when I get home.
Hold it up to the light. Nick's gonna like go to the bathroom, close the door. I'm just gonna be, what are you doing? Anyways, I thought that was a great group photo of everybody who participated. So thank you to all who came out to that fox hunt. I was bummed I couldn't be there, but I had gotten sick that day. So that's awesome. So appreciate everybody who came out for that. All right, we'll talk Winter Field Day. This has been my last month and a half. All right, I thought this was a beautiful logo. Isn't that great? I thought like they actually paid somebody to do that. They didn't like do AI generation or anything. I thought that was really cool. So, but all right, who here has never been to Field Day? Who's never participated? Nick, you don't count. You can't raise your hand. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've been, yeah, you've been there.
Is that outside?
Anyways, all right. So we have about 40 people. So I won't blow through these slides. I'll just give a little summary here. So Field Day, it's basically Ham Radio's open house. The purpose, according to the ARRL, it combines public service, emergency preparedness, community outreach, and technical skills into a single event. It's been running since 1933. That's awesome. Over 30,000 operators participate each year. That's like the number of people that go to Hamvention. It's like there's some sort of a coincidence going on there. So like I said, emergency communications training, public outreach, operator skills development, equipment testing, friendly competition between clubs and groups. And as the ARRL will go to no links to remind us, it is not a contest. Allegedly. It is allegedly not a contest. Anyways, it is always the 4th full weekend of June. This year it's the 27th, 28th. We're going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern. Technically, it ends at 5 o'clock on Sunday. It's a 27-hour event instead of 24. There's some rules. You can operate a little extra longer if you set up after the start time, technically. But for our purposes, we're going to be there till about 11 a.m. on Sunday. Work as many bands as possible. 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, 10. It's basically anything except the work bands. Again, it's not a contest, but the goal is to try to contact as many stations as possible. In doing so, the goal is to learn and to operate in abnormal situations in less than optimal conditions. So the ARRL really puts a premium on trying to get the hobby out there in front of the public, get new folks on the air, and so as we'll see, there's a lot of incentives in the point structure and in how they have it set up to try to accomplish that. So there are different classes within this not a contest. Within that, we are going to be operating the Alpha, the Alpha class. So we're a club. We're going to have more than 3 people participating, and we're portable, meaning that we're not at our regular location. We're not at like somebody's house where the tower's already been set up. Right? There are other different classes that you'll hear throughout the evening while you operate. I won't go into all of them, but if you hear Charlie in somebody's mobile, you'll hear a lot of deltas, people operating from home. So that's class. We'll talk a little bit about scoring. Very simple formula, quite a bit different than Winterfield Day actually, so it affects the strategy. So QSO points multiplied times your power multiplier. We'll talk about all power multipliers in a minute, plus all your bonus points. Simple enough. QSO point, so I make 1 contact, it's worth a certain number of points. So if you make a phone contact, it's worth 1 point. CW contact's worth 2, and a digital is also worth 2. So you can see CW and digital premium is placed on those, so it's worth double. Power multipliers, I won't get into all of these, but we are operating at 100 watts or less, so we'll have a 2 power multiplier, so that's where that'll come in here. So what that means is, if I make 1 voice contact, after the power multiplier, it's worth 2 points. Simple enough. You can see the calculation for CW digital. Now, GOTA is interesting. We haven't done GOTA in a while. I don't know the last time we've done GOTA. I don't remember the club. But it's important because, again, this is where I was saying the ARL puts a premium on trying to get new folks on the air. So they give you 5 bonus points for every single contact that you make. So you can see that 1 GOTA point, 1 GOTA contact is worth over 3 times what a normal contact is worth.
So, I'm not expecting a new ham to be doing much in the way of CW, but FT8 counts as digital, correct?
It does.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody can click a button.
So what's a GOTA?
Get on the air. Thank you. I didn't say what that was. It stands for Get on the Air.
There's only a certain, unless they change it, there's only a certain amount of points you can get for a field day on GOTA.
It is unlimited. It's unlimited.
They changed it then?
Yeah. Yep, it's unlimited. So no limit on the go to station points. There are certain other things where it's limited, but in that case it's unlimited.
But GOTA would be, one last question.
Yeah.
GOTA would be just for new people or people who walk in.
Correct.
Like, for instance, we can't slam the GOTA station because 5 points and every member gets on for 24 hours.
That is correct, right. So the focus for Get on the Air station would be somebody who got their license within the last year. You could be a general, but it has to be within the last year, right? So generally inactive hams, so you haven't been on the air in a while, or folks who don't have their license. So those are kind of the focus, right? Any questions on that? Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to go into excruciating detail on the bonus points, but this is some of the possible bonus points, and I want to highlight Bob, Harry, Jason, Ken, Mark, and Gary for helping us achieve some of these bonus points. The ones with the green checks we're definitely going to do because we're operating on emergency power, right? We're going to have generators, we're in a public location. A couple of the ones with blanks here, actually I learned we'll have a government official visit, so that's really awesome. Joe, ABAB, I think you, oh no, all right, I gotta say thank you to him for helping make that possible. Let's see, a web submission, youth participation is one where we need a little bit of help. So basically, you can have up to 100 points. So if one person who's under 18 gets on the air and makes one contact, that's 20 points, up to 100. So, Fred.
So what happens if you get the most points of anyone in Ohio? What do you get?
Being it's not a contest.
You just get bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Yeah.
It's not a contest, Fred. It's not a contest.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about, you get all these points and this and that. It's not a contest, but we want to get all the points we can get.
I tried to convince Nick to say, hey, whoever gets the most points in the club, you get a prize. But
Did you see Winterfield Day?
Anyway.
We did well at that.
no comment. All right. Anyways, all right. What else? That's the. So basically, if you tally all this up, we could potentially get up to 1,750 bonus points. So that's not nothing, right? 100 bonus points can save you an hour of calling CQ. So they're very important.
Josh, I didn't hear you say that the idea of this whole thing, not just to get the club people together.
Yes.
And visitors, but it's to be able to put up in an emergency, to be able
Yes.
to set up. If you do it once a year, you're gonna be better at it.
Right.
Set up for emergency.
Exactly. Yep.
That's what amateur radio is for.
Exactly. Yep. So doing things like field day helps you practice that, right? And then also things like Parks on the Air, very good for that, right? It's like a mini field day. Right.
Now me myself, I went to a couple of field days before. One time I signed up for a time slot. And at that time, I approached the radio. Well, there's already someone there now. And then I look and there's push pedals and all kinds of stuff I never used, right? You got a log.
You're gonna love.
Do we have enough time to show someone to
Yes.
do all this?
Yes.
We
Yes.
may be losing points.
So
You know, my God,
We
I
have-
don't wanna cost us 100 points.
we have go-to coaches this year. Thank you to Harry and Gary. I did not plan that.
Well, really, I would help out with this.
Two go-to
thing.
captains.
Two votes?
Two goats.
I would
That's
help
the two
out-
greatest of all time.
I would help out with this thing if someone showed me
Yeah.
how to do it.
And Harry and Gary are gonna do a great job at doing go-to captain. The goal is to meet new operators, make them feel welcomed, sit them down at the radio, explain what's going on, help them out, answer any questions, be an Elmer to them, right? So,
Josh, you got somebody better put on the list.
Fred, you're gonna operate.
Fred.
You gotta operate.
We'll see you there, Fred. I'll do quite a few hours.
All right.
But I won't know what I'm doing, see?
We'll help you. We'll help you. That's one of the purposes of field day, right? We'll help you. We'll help you out. All right. anyways, so this is just an example of how important, for example, you can see if you made 500 CW QSOs, they're worth 2 points each, so it's much easier to make, but there's trade-offs for everything, right? Digital, double the points, but it can be slower to make contact. So that's just an example calculation of the points. It's very, there you go. So we already talked about GOTA, Fred. So designed for new and inexperienced operators. Any new operator who arrives during field day should be encouraged to use the GOTA station. The call sign and exchange, it's very similar to all the other stations, but they'll just be using a different call sign. That's the only difference with the exchange. So if you're at the GOTA station, you'll be operating under WWATF. That's the Wayne Technical Fanatics call sign, which Jason's a trustee of. So those will get logged, and that's just a rule that the ARL has. It has to be under a different call sign, but it still counts towards our points. Let's see, what else? This is just a bunch of other rules, but it's, I think you guys get the point. We talked about the 5 bonus points. We already talked about the GOTA coaches. The coaches are allowed to answer questions. They're allowed to guide operators through contacts, but they're not allowed to make the contacts, and they're not allowed to log. Very simple. A supervised GOTA station, so along with the coach, will allow us to get 100 bonus points. So they're encouraged to help new operators, right? That's how they are always trying to encourage, right? And then at the end, whoever operates at the GOTA, just we're gonna have you put your name down on a log because we have to turn those into the ARL. And then we get the bonus points there. GOTA will get, so new operators, like we've always done in the past, will have priority between 2 o'clock and about dinner time. So Gary and Terry are going to help, both make everyone feel welcome. And I think we have the potential of having a half a dozen or so that I know of new operators, and unlicensed. So
Do you have a sign up for the GOTA on the website?
So not specifically for the GOTA. We'll get into how that'll work in just a little bit. So I'll get back to you on that. I'm not going to go through this call sign and exchange thing here, but there will be a sheet on front of every radio that basically has the exchange. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. And the only difference between a normal station and the GOTA station, like I said, will be using this call sign WWATF. All right, that's a lot of rules. Let's talk about the new location. So we're going to a new spot this year. We really had a lot of interest in going to move our field day to a new location. And after a lot of searching, we came through with this. This was really Harry's. Appreciate you, Harry, for helping us get access to this location and everything that you've done to help us get set up here. So we appreciate that. It's going to be at St. Andrew the Apostle Church in Norton, so right in the club's backyard. That's the address, 4022 Jansen Road in Norton. Please access the site from this road here. We'll enlarge this. This is Hampton Road. So Hangtown, sorry. Thank you. You can tell I'm from Akron. Anyways, we've got this whole parking lot, right? Services will happen during the weekend, so Mass will be happening on Saturday and Sunday, but Harry has said that the back parking lot never really gets used, so we'll be able to set up over here and have plenty of parking. You can see tons and tons of space and lots of trees to hang antennas up. So they're going to be operating from this pavilion here in the back. So we have a ton of space, as you can see, within there. Lots of room to set up all of our equipment. There's actually power receptacles at every single one of these poles. Lots and lots of room.
Who's that homeless guy?
Hey. Don't talk about getting that anyways, so yeah, you can see all the power there. We've got a bar. We've even got a bar where we can put up some of the refreshments. So very, very nice setup. There's tables and chairs in there as well that we'll be able to use. And this is to kind of give you a picture of the scale of the trees. They're very, very tall, so we'll have no problem. We're going to try to this year not put up the mast. We'll have it if we need it as a backup. But the goal will be to try to just use antenna launchers and get our different antennas up in these trees to get them to make things a little easier. Yeah, right.
Now, what about if we have inclement weather? We won't be in the church at all, right?
So there is a, where's it at? Here we go. So there is the social hall. We have access to the whole social hall. There's kitchen, bathrooms, and we'll have our meals in there. So we do have access to that.
But as far as the radios and everything, none of that, the equipment will be
All the radios will be in the pavilion. Yeah, it'll be in the pavilion, and if we get,
Under the pavilion.
right,
If
yep.
you get a.
We're gonna have tarps.
Downpour and the rain's coming this way.
Mhm. We're gonna have tarps at every single
You
spot,
lose a
so
lot of points.
if we're gonna have tarps at every spot, so if rain comes in, we'll pull them over the tables and we're gonna clamp them down so that they don't get wet.
How
And if
long
we
will-
have thunderstorms the entire time, then, I mean, we're not gonna be able to operate.
Yeah.
And that's something we just can't control, so, Wade?
Can you back up and let me get that address?
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's also on the club website.
Oh, okay.
Um, It's on one of the field day posts, so there you go. 4022 Johnson Road. Johnson and Hangtown Road. You gonna be in town, Wade?
Yeah,
Nice. That's great.
be one of the stops.
All right, you got it?
Thank you.
Now, I think Johnson, Josh, isn't that the road east-west that you don't want? them
Right.
to enter in on?
Correct. That's just the address.
South?
Yeah, so we want you to enter on right here.
We have some parking signs, right?
Yeah, we've got parking signs. We're gonna set them all up. Don't worry. Yeah, you'll be able to find it. Nick's got some Sarah Field Day slides. So,
I've got those political size signs.
Yeah.
This color says Sarah Field Day on them, and at the suggestion of Jason, I got a bunch of stick-on arrows so we can stick them in the ground and then put the arrows in the right direction on them.
And we got some arrows and stuff for Winterfield Day.
we have some left over from Field Day, Winterfield Day. Yeah. Mark, did you have something?
I noticed the lighting arresters on the building with the ground cables going down around the corners.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not an electrical engineer, but can we ground the generator with some jumper cables going to that ground cable?
We will have to see. Let's talk afterwards.
If you have 200-foot jumper cables, maybe.
Yeah, because
I got some stuff.
we'll see. The layout is, this is the layout. The generators, the plan was to put the generators over here on the concrete pad. We have the HF stations within the pavilion like we were talking about. And then, satellite station somewhere out here in the field, right?
Yeah, look where I'm at, Fred.
We got a 500-foot extension cable for Mark. And anyways, so this is the antenna layout. So one of the goals that we'll kind of talk about in a minute is, trying to get on more bands. So trying to get more radios on the same band so we can capitalize on the best bands. So in the interest of that, what we wanted to do was try to add another antenna so that we'd be able to get a second 40 meter. We already have two 20-meter stations most of the time, but we're also going to try to do two 40-meter stations. So basically, we're going to have our normal 80-40-20 a fan dipole hanging from this tree, and then the 2015-10 over here at this one, and then the club purchased an 80-meter off-center fed down there, which will be hooked up to the GOTA station. So that's the current layout for the site. This is inside of the pavilion. This is not to scale at all. I did not want to scale everything. There's a lot of moving, but this gives you the general idea. So, 20-meter voice station, 40-meter voice station. We're putting the strongest radios on those bands because we don't want the other radios to bleed into the receivers. We've got an 80-meter, so all of these would be on the first fan dipole, the 80-40-20. And so during the day, this Kenwood will be on 15 meters, and at night it'll switch to 80. These stations up here, and including this one, will be on the 2015-10 antenna on this side of the building, and they'll be running. We got digital, we got Ken on any mode, and then, like I said, at night this will switch. But during the day, it'll be on 15 here. So VHF station, that may be there. We'll see what lane needs. All of this is subject to change, of course, because as we know, plans change, so we just have to remain flexible. That's part of the deal, right? That's part of what Field Day's about. And then the GOTA station down here on the NFED halfway. So you were talking about, you asked Phil about how's the GOTA sign up going to work. So right now, there's a couple people who are signed up online that I know are GOTA operators. And so basically, what we'll do is we'll print out who's going to be the GOTA operator. And so they'll show up to the GOTA station and sit down and take their place. If there are additional operators who are not licensed, newly licensed, then we'll just set them at the first open radio. We have a ton of radios that we'll be able to set them out. They won't be able to get the bonus points, but that's okay. That's what we've normally done every year. And that they'll be participating and help us get points that way. So, if we don't have a GOTA operator, then this will be able to switch to a different, to basically a 40-meter CW digital. So we'll have a second radio sitting there, and then that'll be using the end bit halfway. Any questions? I know that was a lot. Is everybody still awake?
Yeah.
Huh?
All right. Talk a little bit about the operating plan. I'm very curious. So before I go into this, I have an opinion. I'm curious what everybody else's opinion is. What do you think is the band that allows you to, or the mode that allows you to make contacts the fastest? Raise your hand if you think that it's digital. Digital makes contacts the fastest. All right, open. All right. Nick thinks. Okay. All right. We're not talking about C4FM. I'm sorry. All right. How about voice? You think voice allows you to make the contacts the fastest? Right. Maybe half a dozen. Okay. What about CW?
Oh, I thought you meant it
All
as
right.
CW.
That's what I thought. All right.
That's what I thought you meant.
That's kind of what I thought. That's my opinion. That kind of aligns with my opinion. So, I was just curious.
Unless it's Dustin talking.
Well, he does go pretty fast. Anyways, but voice can be very fast, right? If you're working a pilot, if anybody's worked a pilot before, you can really make a lot of contacts. You can make over 100 contacts in an hour, right? One of the best ways to do this, obviously, sit on a frequency, call CQ, right? That's going to be the fastest way that you can make contacts. This isn't always practical. I've been sitting at winter field day, and I'm just calling and calling and calling. My voice is going hoarse and nobody's coming. So you hunt and pounce, right? To try to keep on making some ground, right? But really, if you can get a frequency and stick on that frequency, and sometimes people will come and vouch off, and it's just part of the deal. But that's the fastest way to try to make contacts. So we'll focus on voice. I love voice. That's one of my favorite. That's my favorite way my favorite mode in radio. But CW and digital, like we talked about, very important because there was double points, right? So we'll talk a little bit more about CW and digital, but that's a shining factor there. We've talked a little bit about trying to get two stations per band. What do you guys think were our moneymaker bands? On last year's field day, which ones did we get the most contacts on?
40. 20 and 40.
20 and 40. Yep. So I think on 40 meters we got 350 contacts, and 20 meters it was something like 300 contacts or something like that. Oh, I bet you got it written down. How prepared am I? Look at that. 20 meters, 204 contacts. 40 meters, 356. The other bands weren't even close. So the idea is those bands are typically good, even when the conditions really aren't that great. So if we can capitalize on that and get a couple additional stations on there, operating digital or CW, then we can get a couple, we can make a little more ground.
But it's not a contest.
But it's not a contest, don't forget. Allegedly. We talked about GOTA already. It's very important, the bonus points. I already mentioned it can save you an hour calling CW. And, most important, if a radio is open, take a seat. I know everybody wants to not take a seat because we're afraid that we're going to take it from somebody else. We've got so many radios. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Please, sit down, enjoy, have a little fun on the radio. All right. Digital operations, we'll be able to see, like you saw in the previous slides, we'll be able to do beyond 80, 40, 20, 15, 10. I talked to Lane, 6. So if 6 is open. I don't know if anybody got on 6 meters when this band was open last week. I got a couple of awesome contacts. Did anybody get on 6 meters on digital? I got down to Texas. That was pretty cool. So it's a little slower to make contacts, but that's why double the points. CW has its perks. It can be faster than voice, right? But the problem is there's a limited number of operators. I still haven't learned. I'm still working on it, but one day. But hey, who laughed at me? All right, that's enough of that. I wanted to point out, I always love to include pictures of Mark's satellite here. I hope you don't mind, I stole some of these off Discord, Mark. But I always love Mexzilla over there, as it's trying to find satellites during last winter field day. That was a blast, and a couple of the other things, the goodies that he's gonna have this year. So come out, and it's always an awesome spectacle to see what Mark has in store. There's a couple things, so you all who have been to our field day have seen Firefly. Jason's added a couple features that I think that are really cool this year to our custom logging software. So Jason, if you don't know, has written logging software for the club, and he's done a great job with that. Makes it very simple to set up. It can do network logging, duplicate checking. I think the most important thing is night mode. I like night mode. Yeah, easy on my eyes at 3 in the morning. Anyways, all your contacts have to include this information, but let's go and look at Firefly. So this is it. Y'all have, a lot of you have seen this already. One thing I just wanted to point out on this slide is when you sit down on a radio, very important, make sure you check the station info and make sure it's all correct before you start operating. We get a bunch of logs down here that aren't accurate. The band shouldn't move, the mode shouldn't move, but your call sign should be here, and then whatever station you're operating at, that also shouldn't move. But just check, do a double check to make sure it's all correct before you start operating and get the call sign, class, and section of the folks you're making contacts with. If you go to the hamburger menu up there, you can see there's a bunch of different pages that you can pull up, and one of them is all the QSOs that we've currently made, our typical scoreboard that you see every year. But Jason has added a really cool feature. I use a software called Grid Tracker. I just started using it like last week, and I love seeing all the little confirmed QSOs popping up. My states will get filled in. I'm trying to get my worked all states. Well, Jason actually added that to Firefly. We're gonna have this up. And so as we make contacts across the country, we'll get to see that fill in. And I just thought that was a really, really neat feature. So,
Worcester's been Worcester usually has that up
Yeah.
for their field day, I think, and it's fun to watch states fill in. It's cool.
Yeah, it's just a cool little thing. He said, he worked on it for a little bit, and I thought that was awesome. So, one thing, sometimes during field day, it's hard to know or understand like what the operator on the other end is saying for their section. Are you in Ohio? Like Ohio is easy to know, it's Oscar Hotel. We don't have any of these weird divisions, but like Pennsylvania, Western PA, what's the abbreviation for that? Okay, WPA, but there's some obscure ones. There's a list here if you need them, run through. This guy said he was in this state. What is that abbreviation or whatever? It's all right there for you. Let's talk setup. We're gonna get there bright and early at the ungodly hour. Nick and Nick are getting there at the very ungodly hour, the 6 a.m. hour. That's gonna be wild. But anyways, we're gonna have an educational talk right before field day. Actually, Nick, I think that this actually has to be during field day, so we might have to do it at 2 o'clock. I'm gonna check the rules again. But we're gonna have an educational talk on how to call CQ for anybody who's new, so feel free to come and check that out. Field day starts at 2. Like I said before, guest and technician period between 2 and dinner. Dinner at 6, don't miss it. It's gonna be awesome. Operate overnight, morning breakfast, 11 a.m., field day ends, and tear down and say, we should be done. Tear down normally goes pretty quick by 1 o'clock.
Josh?
Yes, sir.
Flip back if you would, please. For educational talk, how to call CQ. If that is a concern of yours, I would still do it at 1:40 for everybody who's going to be working stations. And from that point on, they can parrot it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Just go until 2:01.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. Yeah. All right. Dinner, Doug already touched on this, but we're gonna have a beautiful menu of food, so don't miss it. Gary's bringing his coffee pot, so we're gonna be well caffeinated. And then to wrap up, I just wanted to show last year's scores and kind of talk about goals for this year, because it's always good to have goals. So last year we operated 7 alpha. We're going to do 6 alpha, so it's not apples to apples this year. But we scored about 3,200 points, almost 3,300 points. We were about mid-range. We were about number 10 out of 19 different entries in our category. So middle of the pack, not too bad. But we're going to be in 6 alpha this year. So there are 34 entries. There's a little more competition, but like you can see, I noticed like the top scores are pretty high, but then it kind of trails off pretty quick. So this is the Warren Amateur Radio Club, and Andy just told me on the way here that they're going to operate at 9 alpha this year. I was like, holy cow, that's wild.
Are there even that many people in the club?
Right. I'm sorry. No, I'm just like, wow, that's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot. But hey, that'd be awesome. But anyways, they scored, what did it say? 67,000, just over 7,000 points. So, and they're almost top 5, right? So it's good to kind of look at what the scores were last year and think what can we do, right? So we've changed some stuff up. We've changed up the location, changed up what bands we're going to be on, how many radios, things like that, focusing a little more on GOTA. And so this is last year's score, and I'd like to propose to the club, I think we can double that. I think we can double our score. So I'd like to propose that we try to aim for about 7,000 points. I think it's doable. We're a very big club. We have a lot of members, we're a very active club, we've got a lot of participants. I think that's a really good goal. So, just it's just something to shoot for. If we don't make it, it's fine. It's not a contest. It's not a contest. And if we all go out there, we have as good of a time as we did last year, it's a success. It's a big success. I don't know you guys, I had a blast last year. Sitting there operating satellites was awesome. That was great. So, we always have a really good time. So even if we don't make it, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be phenomenal. So, a couple miscellaneous things. We're gonna be operating on wooden chairs. So if you want something more comfortable, they're just normal folding chairs. So bring a cushion or something more comfortable if you're gonna be sitting there for a while. So lawn chairs, if you're just gonna be sitting there for dinner, it's like something more comfortable. It might be hot, dress for the weather. If you wanna bring some battery operated fans, do that. You know, and again, plans may change. May not be able to do everything that we're planning on, right? Maybe the antenna orientation is going to have to change because we're interfering with each other. Like, that's bound to happen. So we're just going to try to be flexible, and that's what all of this is about. Right? Stay up to date with Discord. We have a field day channel, and we kind of talk a little bit in there, and there's different topics that we have within Discord. There's Discord different channels, so if you want, you can go to the club website, and go to the drop-down to the club, and go to the club Discord channel. There's a bunch of us in there. Also, if you ever have any like technical questions, there's a bunch of people in there who are very good with helping with different topics. So it's a great place, a great resource. Most importantly, don't forget to have fun on field day. We always have a really good time.
Hey, who's sleeping under the table?
Huh?
That's Scott.
That's a good sign, Scott.
What's the word QRM?
You were the QRM.
Oh, we were QRMing you.
Anyways, so, and we eat really well. That's awesome. That's awesome. Great. So, all right, make sure you have fun. All right, questions? Any questions? I know there's a lot. We made it to the end.
Jared, can we bring real chairs?
Yeah? Bring whatever you want. Yeah? He's going to bring his computer chair.
You know, I always bring a computer chair.
Yeah? Yeah, seriously.
That's why you guys fight over my station.
Other questions? Mark?
You said you haven't operated in a while, but that qualifies you for
Pagoda.
Pagoda?
Yeah.
How long is a while?
I haven't made HF contact this year. Do I count? No.
You've been on VHF.
Have I?
Yeah. If you've been on VHF, unfortunately, you've been on VHF, unfortunately. No, this is a generally inactive hand, and about a year is a good rule of thumb. So if you know John?
So you mentioned social media gets you 100 extra points.
Yep.
What constitutes that? So if
You post it.
I mean, if you did different instances, like so you have a Facebook instance, you've already got a Discord instance. Are we doing the broadcast from YouTube? Are we promoting it in advance that would support GODA? I'm just thinking about, I didn't see, we emphasize
Right.
gains there. Is that 100 for any or 100 for each instance?
Any. It's just one. Yeah. So if we share it to Facebook, you know, then it'll count. Yep.
So would WB8CXO streaming our nets where we talk about field day on YouTube count as?
You know, he gets like 300 views on those videos. Have you ever looked at the number of views he gets? It's kind of cool. It started out, I remember it was like 3
or 4.
Yeah. He gets like 300 now.
Really?
Yeah. Go back and look at some. It's wild. There's people from like Georgia saying hi. So yeah, that would
Like
count.
we're sitting there watching YouTube.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Sometimes I'll check how I sound, but you know. So, but you know, yeah, YouTube will count. You know, take pictures, share it. You know, if you want to share it beforehand, like the club doesn't have a Facebook page, you know, that we maintain. So, you know, feel free to share any of the stuff on the website, pictures, images, you know, and that all counts. Other questions? Yep, so if you're a station captain and providing a radio, then I should have either talked to you about if you're bringing a laptop, or we've got 4 of the club tablets that we're gonna have. So we'll have a plethora. Okay, then we'll be okay. We'll have we'll have the 4 tablets there, so we'll be okay. Yep. Mark?
You're gonna help me connect to Starlink?
Yes, we will have the Starlink. Yep. Because you need to be able to sync for time and things, don't you? Yep. So we'll set that up. That's part of the reason why we bought the Starlink, is for things like this, so we have internet access. So that'll be good. We won't be connecting to it and downloading YouTube videos or anything like that, but they're for operating. Other questions? All right. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everybody who is making Field Day possible. The list is very long, so I'm not going to bother to say specific people. You all know who you are, but I really appreciate all the effort that you're putting in, that we're going to put in, especially the day of. I know it's a lot of work, it's a big time commitment, but thank you. It is an awesome thing the club does, and appreciate all of you doing it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Whew. All right. That was a mouthful. So, around the room, questions, comments, concerns about anything tonight? Yes, sir.
I want to just give a shout out to Josh and his committee for obviously the planning that has gone into this and some of the other events is outstanding. And kudos to him and his committee.
All the best laid plans of mice and men
I've heard that someplace.
often go awry.
It's gonna go perfect.
It is.
Chef's kiss.
It's gonna be a good time.
We're gonna look back.
Let's do 50-50. Let's find some winners.
Woo! Pick me up.
Pull it up. What do you want to do first here?
We're gonna do that now first.
All right, handbook it is. Get out your tickets. Check your numbers.
Two, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 4.
Sounded like too many numbers.
4, 5, 4.
Hey, I actually won one.
4, 5, 4. Yay, Mike.
Two, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 1, 6.
416.
Not here. Not here.
4, 6.
Going once.
Got it. Oh, somebody must have gone out. Everybody check your tickets. Double check them. We're gonna pull another one.
416.
All right. Let's pull another one. A bunch of people left.
Mix it up a little.
Hey, Josh.
Drum roll.
2,
Almost there.
5,
Okay.
2, 3, 2, 6, 0, 5.
All right, giddy up.
Bill's buying. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. Officers aren't allowed to. All right, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Next meeting's July 17th. Field Day in 9 sleeps.
Motion to adjourn.
If you haven't signed in, sign in.